Well, hello there!
And run away?
A good day to you.
Now, there's my pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah, it is.
Come on, chicken.
Feeling hot under the collar.
Yeah, chicken.
Oh, there's my pepper.
Yeah,
Did it
chicken.
sprout legs and run away? Ah,
Yeah, chicken.
Toasty.
Would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion?
Leave me be, I've a job to do.
I suppose so. But seeing that I'm neither married, engaged, or attached in any way, I've never bothered to inquire.
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone in the dark.
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But my duties lie here, sworn as I am to protect Lady Esmeralda from the rabble that would enforce summary justice on her, even though she is, until proven guilty, wholly innocent. I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicile from day 1. Alas, both of them have long since fallen in battle against the dead. But never shall I lose heart. Long as a single legionnaire stands, all of us remain undefeated in the eyes of the gods. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. and I have traveled more extensively than migratory birds do. She stands accused of murder, but in my mind, her presumed guilt is a fallacy, and indeed a fabrication. Steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute proof of her culpability should be brought before me. And I hold no such proof exists. Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicily. The Council of Seven couldn't have wished for a better ambassador. That he of all people should have braved the undead siege for so long, only to be felled by foul sorcery, is heartrending. And what questions are those? This place is practically a tomb, and these Sicilians are constantly crying for our attention. There's a zombie in my garden, an orc ate my baby. My sheep is gone, oh woe is me. It never ends. I'll be grateful when our reinforcements finally arrive. Maybe they'll manage to muster the will to care. I've fought orcs crazed with blood liquor, withstood assaults by ogres wielding clubs made of human bones and teeth. Aye, I've braved the poisonous spear tips of goblins aplenty. But never did I know fear until I faced the undead. Not a pleasant thing for a legionnaire to feel fear, but there you have it nonetheless.
My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda dearest. I'm just doing my duty, you know, for the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, milady. As long as I'm around, no hair on your haloed head shall be harmed.
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter? I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. We were both so young when we married. He so rich and I so poor, but his one and only princess just the same. Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no different, are you? So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh, I think I'm getting one of my headaches.
Well, what do you want to know? Sicily, now that's a sad story. Roofs of elegant homes burned for fuel, oaken cupboards emptied, and ladies dragging the dregs of their great skirts to bargain for fish bones.
Sometimes I forget they're even out there, to be honest. Remember above all to stay behind the wall, we tell our children. And when you've been heeding your own advice for seasons on end, you almost start to forget what the fuss was about in the first place. Better not to, though. They're still out there, the dead, and from the looks of it, they'll always be.
Adamant about her innocence.
We'll need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Those dark-robed nuts really ruffle my feathers, sneaking around here at all hours of the night.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine...
Cruel fortune. 1 coin or 2, noble spirit? 1 coin or 2? Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns out losing it all has its own share of benefits. Ah, a fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction than that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the counsel of those notorious Watcher statues on the Western Cliffs. Their guidance ruined any small fortune I might have had, but certainly granted me humility. I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools advice to the fools who sought them, but somehow I believed that I was the exception. They told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possessions, all my worldly possessions, and became a great figure of piety and humility. Fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety, only the sudden weight of my own idiocy upon my very soul.
Chicken, chicken, chicken.
Thank you, kind one.
Yeah, chicken, chicken, chicken.
May the soul of Astarte smile upon you, kind.
Yeah, chicken, chicken, chicken.
Can you spare a coin?
Chicken, chicken, chicken.
Don't pay attention to the experience. You'll only encourage it.
Come on, chicken, yeah, chicken, chicken, chicken. Yeah, chicken, chicken, chicken.
Ah, cruel fortune.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Just doing my duty for the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero.
Have some pity.
So those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they?
Absurd. Since when is poverty a prerequisite of spirituality?
Some of the richest people in the world are also some of the most miserable. Gold can purchase many things, but neither joy nor wisdom are among them.
Can you spare a coin? Those folks are embarrassed at Brickstrom. Get to signing recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Those folks
Ah,
embarrassed
come
at
on with the
Brickstrom.
dramatics. It's
Get
not
to
as bad as
signing
all that.
recruits.
Sorry, sir.
The face, Virius. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most...
Honored to meet you. Wish I was a source hunter. Dangerous line of work, but it's a damn sight more glorious.
I was for you to try and screech, woman. The beast is
Again!
The cretin's question crossed her lips and looked an air of aptitude.
Hey, no, coin, I think.
I've just got back from the realm of fairy. It was lovely, but I should have brought my winter boots.
Shining recruits!
Sorry, sir.
Attention!
You don't think it's infected, do you?
About
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face, Furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most
I wish for you to try it, Screech woman. The captain's question crossed her lips and ached an air of aptitude.
Hey, Cal, I think that was an
You don't think it's infected, do you?
now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear? I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother, but he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you the scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition. If you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for... How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Sicil stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now I retch at the mere sight of sardines. So in conclusion, I am not enjoying Sicil. We are the pride of Rivellon, to be found and to be seen everywhere.
We don't hide in the dark and lurk in corners like some I could mention. No, we protect the civilized from the barbaric, and we do so impeccably. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking gods knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. He'll be seeing flying carpets next.
Crossed her lips and ached an air of aptitude.
Hey, Tull, I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast period.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. But certainly. What would you like to know? Oh, I am but a wizard, a guardian of man and beast, and indeed I am both. My body, like any other, is bound to temporal decay. But my spirit is my task upon this earth is to protect the heart of nature. The very antithesis. You see, my one desire is to witness a world in which every mother looks around her and purrs with calm contentment. For she knows that her chicks or children, her cubs or calves, will grow up without knowing the meaning of menace. To my great regret, none of them purr. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct, even articulate speech, perhaps to be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the... But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. Oh, that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent if she'd enchant me in my cat guise, but I'll just have to be careful around witches, won't I? I'm my own wizard, you know, by all means. Of course. I hope your investigation... I can but piece together what few morsels fell from the grapevine into a rather disappointing meal, I'm afraid. They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon joined by a man who had been nursing the same cup of wine for hours. say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion erupted and the thundering light of magic was witnessed by the few remaining patrons. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. When finally he did, he found Jake there, dead. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. I myself have none, even though the rest of the town has all... Now, it may well be established that she is, in fact, the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's innocent, but let's just say that if I really thought this murder case would be so very easily resolved, I wouldn't have sent for source hunters. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen. All the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't? And what might those be? Those who are raising the dead dwell among us. They simply must be. You have a flair for until they can... Oh, a mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering skills of a human. You basically construct a classic ballista, add a 100% legally obtained self-regenerating source of destructive magic to it, and Bobcat's your uncle.